Atheists scared spitless, wild bill for America. What the actual gosh darn hecking is this? Sounds like the start of a fug-juggling political campaign ad. So, this is going to be painful, right? I can't imagine anything else with a title like this from a video being covered by me. Well, let's go.
April 1st is coming up. April Fool's Day. Oops, I mean National Atheist Day.
Oh, that was so brutal. Oh, I'm feeling utterly destroyed over here. I can't believe this guy went there with the most milquetoast insult I think I've ever heard in my life. They should call you Savage Bill for the sheer f***ing irony of it. What's he gonna do next? Say no you when called out for being ridiculous? Well, he is dressed like a cowboy, so I imagine he's got to be quick on the draw. Except that his brain is the equivalent of a cap gun that's been empty for years.
Which should never go by without men and women of faith boldly challenging the militant atheists.
The militant atheists, eh? Who exactly is that? I mean, I know of a few self-identified militant atheists, and they are often a little silly. I mean, come on, it's a bit pretentious. But honestly, they seem few and far between. So by militant atheist, do you actually mean anyone who makes fun of me for being the silly? I mean, you think that the best day for arguing your faith is April Fool's Day, a day for people to do and say things as a joke. Galaxy brain move there.
Hello everybody, Wild Bill for America here, and those who know me know that I am an outspoken defender of the Christian faith.
And you f***ing look like it. I mean, when I think of outspoken defender of the Christian faith, the first thing I think of is someone dressed like a freaking 9-year-old. In full view of the public. Seriously, if I didn't know any better, I would think that this was an elaborate prank on the entirety of reality. But jokes are supposed to be funny, not really sad.
And that means the militant atheists have targeted me, and just about every day they post some stuff on my YouTube channel. So
yeah, I was right. This guy definitely thinks that everyone who criticizes him for being a bit ridiculous is a militant atheist. Out for blood to, I don't know, destroy Christianity and the American way to boot, probably. But the thing is, dude, they are right to think you are silly. You keep calling them militant atheists. You sound like a conspiracy nut. It's adorable.
Why is it that the militant atheists are always on the attack to silence the message of salvation through Jesus Christ?
No one's trying to silence you. I mean, sure, someone is, but in general, no one cares what you want to believe, and no one wants you to be silent. They want you to stop being wrong. And just from the first few seconds of this video, I can tell you are someone who spends a significant amount of time being wrong. Personally, I don't want either. I think you saying really dumb things is hilarious. And if you could keep doing that, Wild Woody, I would be much obliged.
They are the only people I know who spend their lives fighting something that they say doesn't exist.
Wait, who says that Christianity doesn't exist? Atheists? That doesn't make sense just on basic definitions. Atheist just means a person without theism. The very fact that atheists exist requires theism to exist. Someone doesn't know how to definition, does they? Really, I know what you were trying to say, but atheists are never arguing with God. They are arguing with you, the people who say they know God real, and that everyone should do as they say. Christ, I hope this isn't a political campaign, because it's just really depressing that I know clods would totally go for this nonsense.
Now, one thing I have learned in my years of dealing with militant atheists...
Oh, let's make a game of this. Has he learned that A, atheists are evil bad boys in grills who hate freedom? Was it B, that he has a big smart brain too powerful for their puny minds? Is it C, haha, cowboy hat goes brrr? Or is it D, absolutely f***ing nothing? Answers in the comments.
Is that they are scared spitless of the Bible and the salvation message that reconciles men and women with their Creator.
Ah, shit, lad. I didn't think he would come up with a funnier answer than one of my joke ones. But woo, lad, this man has powers of silly beyond any mortal. Atheists are scared of the Bible. Oh yeah, I know, every time I go to a hotel and open that drawer, I scream myself silly if there's a Bible in there. I mean, it's the worst. Because if there's a Bible in there, then I have to use it as toilet paper, and that shit is rough on the old button. But what am I going to do? Not wipe my backside with it? You'd have to be a stronger man than I.
Now, you can tell that they fear the message because they fight so viciously to block it.
Oh, come on, people talking smack at you online aren't fighting viciously. They're making you look dumb. I know they don't need to do that, you're perfectly capable of doing so yourself, but come on. And did you ever consider that the reason they critique your shit is not out of fear, but out of shock, disagreement, that they think you are, what's the word I'm looking for, f***ing wrong? No, it couldn't be that. They actually agree with everything you say, but for some reason, don't. I don't know, it makes about as much sense as anything else that's coming out of his beans hole.
From being heard in our schools and government.
Wait. That's got nothing to do with you being silly online. You can keep that shit to yourself and talk about what you want in your own space. But your schools and governments, isn't there a little thing called separation of church and state? A thing that's good for everyone and not just you? Christ, what is it about your sort and the sheer bloody-minded hatred of freedom? And yeah, wanting to force your shit on everyone, that's the opposite of freedom. In any other situation, you would hate it if the government made a different religion policy, but can't quite seem to grasp why yours instead is just as bad. I guess it's because of how smart you are.
They shout, "There is no evidence for God." Well,
I mean, there literally isn't, but sure, cool. I'm going to assume you are going to share some. And, but actually there is not evidence for God. Also, but there's no evidence for atheism. Also isn't a rebuttal. And, haha, cowboy hat go bah! Well, that's just adorable, so I will allow that one.
If there is no evidence, then why don't they let the Christian message be heard throughout the land?
The Christian message is heard throughout the land, you f***ing clown. Seriously, it's everywhere, on your TVs and yes, even in your schools and governments when it really shouldn't be. You gotta love the old Christian persecution complex, as if it isn't the most pernicious ideology in the West. What you're actually saying is, hey people, who there are way less of and who disagree with my ideas, wow, stop bullying me, you're hurting my fifis. You should just shut up and accept things the way I want them. What did I say about these f***ers hating freedom? And yes, I am just using that argument to piss them off. But it only pisses them off because I'm right.
And let all people see for themselves.
People have seen for themselves, but again, not actually what you're asking for, especially again with governments and schools. Do you not understand that if your thoughts and ideas are the only ones promoted, then no matter how wrong they are, stupid f***ers are going to uncritically accept those ideas as fact? Because that's what they do. That's why there should be no specific religious ideology taught. Seriously, I don't want atheism taught as a fact in schools. I want nothing in terms of theism or lack thereof to be the primary thing. If you want people to come to their own conclusions, you teach them about everything or nothing and then leave them to it. Unfortunately for you, I would bet both these stances lead to less Crimsbians, and that's just too f***ing bad.
Now, if the atheists could refute the Christian message...
I mean, who can't? It's so easy. You point at the Bible and honk, and that's more than enough to counter most Christian apologetics. The only thing I can't refute is your personal spirituality. But every time you try and prove shit, that ship sinks real fast. I mean, you said earlier about evidence, but so far I haven't heard shit in that regard from you. I wonder why.
They would let Christians lay out the biblical principles so that the atheists could take great delight in destroying the Christian message for all to see.
You can do that, and they can do that all the time. Have you not been paying attention, buddy? But the simple fact of the matter is, atheism is still relatively niche. Most who are non-religious don't care enough to talk about it, and the rest who do are often derided in various popular media shows as, what did you call them? Militant atheists, for daring to have an opinion. Not all shows, obviously, but still more than enough for large chunks of the country to be where coming out as an atheist is a big deal. That could not be a thing in a country where you are such a poor victim of the big mean athy boys. You need to get over yourself, mate. Fuck.
But you notice that they don't ever do that? No.
We don't ever show how your religious beliefs are silly? In what context? Because you were just claiming they're doing it constantly by dunking on you. Or maybe you mean all over the media, when again see previous. And well, even if you did see that, you wouldn't think that's what happened because you're in too deep and have bought into the nonsense. So like every single time there is a debate between some atheist and some apologist, you guys always know that your guy won, even if they get totally trashed. And hey, maybe our side is getting rope-a-doped instead, but I think I would have noticed, because I have this bad habit of always being right, especially when I'm wrong.
They must silence the Christians because they cannot refute the Bible or the message.
I mean, if you were to make an actual claim, maybe somebody could, but you do seem to talk in circles a lot, mate. You don't need to do that so much. You aren't trying to round up some cattle here, buddy. You're trying to prove your point. But that's really, really hard to do when you don't seem to have one.
The favored weapon of the atheist is lawsuits and threats of legal actions.
What the f***? The favourite? Really? I don't personally know of any atheists who have sued anyone. And if you mean that there are lawsuits about when Christian organisations try to break the law, f***ing duh! Secular organisations, which doesn't actually mean atheist FYI, use lawsuits to remedy that situation. What else do you expect them to do? Oh right, you expect them to do nothing and just allow you and your wrong ideas to take over the world. Yeah, sorry bro, not how that shit works.
Now recently, the militants forced a school to cancel a field trip to the Ark exhibit.
You know what? I think they shouldn't have done that. However, they should have to bring a comedy YouTuber along with them to counter all the bullshit. Because kids need to know how hilariously stupid that f***ing place is. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm too busy lazing around the house doing nothing all day. Thank you very much.
And that is an example of the greatest crime the militant atheists are guilty of.
Stopping kids from being indoctrinated? It's like they weren't even trying to be criminals. That's like the lamest crime ever. Come back when the atheists start a few inquisitions or something like that. Now that would be hilarious.
Deliberately blocking the Christian message from reaching the children.
Oh, what a crime! I mean, they couldn't go to one f***ing place to hear the Christian message. Now all they have is almost every form of media on the planet and absolutely tons of dipshits like you on the internet, and any family member who buys into that crap, constantly regurgitating bullshit all over them. When will they hear about Christianity? Christ, you guys are such victims. No, really, I mean it. Being a victim of your own utter stupidity is real tough. I don't envy them.
Nobody has the right to block God's truth.
God's truth? You can't even come up with a single reason why it is truth. And actually, anybody has the right to attempt to curtail the spread of ideas that they think are fucking stupid within the bounds of the law. It's why it's the fucking law, you absolute brainlet.
If the atheists are scared spitless of us Christians, just wait till they stand before God on Judgment Day.
Not scared of you, not scared of your book, and frankly not scared of your God, because I don't think he's real. We just want you to, much like your genitals, stop trying to force your beliefs down people's throats. Is that too much to ask? Obviously it is, because I have a bad taste in my mouth already, and I really couldn't tell you which it was.
Hebrews 10:31 says, "It is a terrifying thing to fall into the hands of the living God."
The Bible says something about the God it says is real, shonking. And so God is some kind of horrible sociopathic torturer, you say? Well, that is interesting. I guess that whole all-loving shtick can get crossed off at last. Thanks for clearing that up, mate.
And have you noticed that the militants always direct their attacks at the message of Jesus Christ?
No. I've almost never directed my attacks at the message of Christ, mostly because I don't think if such a man existed, he had one that survived intact to this day, but mostly because it's far easier to refute all your claims about reality, which undermines literally everything else you have to say about what people should or shouldn't believe.
How many times have you seen atheists threaten to sue a school for teaching about Islam or taking a field trip to a mosque?
Teaching about Islam and visiting a mosque is not the same as going to a place literally designed to brainwash people. And even so, I am sure it's happened anyway. But shockingly, in a nation with way more Crims boys in it, there's more cases of having to stop them trying to abuse their powers. It's basic f***ing statistics, you plonk.
How many times have they marched to stop Buddhism or the Sikhs? And that, too, is evidence for the truth of the Christian message.
No one is trying to stop religion. You absolute joke of a thinking cowboy bebop. They just want you to maybe not take over the whole f***ing world, when it's pretty obvious you have no idea what you're talking about. I really don't think that not having morons in charge is a big ask. Do you? He said, knowing he's talking to a moron. So what is the f***ing point?
The haters of God know that Christianity is the message of the one true God for all of mankind. They don't waste their time on false religions because man-made religions lead people away from the one true God. They are essentially doing the same work as the atheists, just using a different tactic.
No, they really aren't. They're interested in the religion that they know, because it's literally f***ing all around them. Atheists in Islamic-led countries focus on Islam. Atheists in Hindu-majority countries focus on Hinduism. And of course, atheists in majority Christian countries focus on cowboy morons. Wait, before you go, I have something super important to tell you. It's life or death. It will change everything forever. Nope, wait, it's gone. Oh well, probably wasn't important. But while I have you, don't forget to comment, subscribe and notify. And if you want more of my smexy voice, check out Mrs. Six's channel Spoonstaff Stories, where I narrate and voice all the videos, and she does the work. And if you want to support the channel, check out the merch store for cool t-shirts, or check out Patreon, memberships and PayPal to support directly. Finally, follow me on the medias of social to get completely pointless guff and to keep up on the latest releases. Oh, I just remembered what I was going to tell you. Whatever you do, don't touch the